Man, oh man, in a desperate attempt for Disney to squeeze more box office revenue from the dead Snow White film, Disney a few days ago announced that they were going to release Rachel Zegler's Snow White in cinemas, or again, re release, literally, and they were going to do it in over 1,300 theaters. When I saw this article a few days ago, I actually giggled at that prospect because I know this project not only is dead, but is the biggest flop for the studio, for me, I feel, of all time. Now, they want to embarrass themselves one more time, and they decided, you know what, guys, let's embarrass ourselves the more and put this in 1,300 theaters and let's see what's going to happen. And lo and behold, they did it. And let's roll the curtains and the drums, please, and you will see how much this film has generated in 1,300 theaters. Drum roll, please. And there we have it, $200,000. $200,000 is the little, measly, puny, insignificant amount that this film generated in 1,300 theaters. That means that it's almost at this point that you only had about 5 or 10 people per theater, if my math serves me correctly. Is about 5 to 10 people in a theater, and over it like this per theater in 1,300 theaters this past weekend. That is how bad this film continues to embarrass Disney. And I don't understand who is at the executive higher up at the top that commissioned this project to be re-released in theaters to embarrass the studio one more time. Why am I even covering Rachel Zegler's box office after 2 months of it failing so badly for the studio? Is because Disney keeps embarrassing themselves over and over and over and over again. It is ridiculous at this point. $200,000 in 1,300 theaters is not just a travesty, it's a disgrace. Let me show you how much of a disgrace this is. A week ago, over a week ago, Disney re-released the old Star Wars film from the 80s back in theaters, and that film currently, as I speak to you, have generated $55 million. A re-release project from over 45 years ago have generated more than 100 times the re-release of Rachel Zegler in one weekend. That is not just an embarrassment, that is even Disney trolling themselves at this point. I just don't even understand why they will go ahead to re-release a project they saw has failed. Let me blow your mind right now. Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot's Snow White have only grossed a measly $202.8 million worldwide, and that is after 8 weekends at the box office. So, what I'm saying here in context is that this film has, number one, failed to hit $90 million in the United States. That's number one. And then number two, it has just crawled over $200 million worldwide. It has not been able to match Brie Larson's The Marvels. Now, at one point, I thought it was going to cross Brie Larson's The Marvels. It is nowhere near Brie Larson's The Marvels in numbers because that film still made $4 million more than Rachel Ziegler's Snow White. Bob Iger is going to be very ashamed of the fact that once again he has shit himself in the pants with this decision to re-release this film. And this is more embarrassment because it's making me give you guys more content than I should at this point. I should not even be discussing Rachel Zegler's box office again. But there you have it. This film is so bad at the box office in numbers that even with a re-release, it's almost a caricature video at this point. It's almost me making fun of this kind of numbers for you guys. This is just an embarrassment, very much an embarrassment. A film that cost Disney, at least the budget they've reported on paper, $270 million. $270 million is what has been officially reported on. And the fact that this film will not outgross Brie Larson's The Marvels tells a very bleak story about what Disney has done with this project. Now, the re-release appears to be part of Disney's strategy to sustain interest in the endeavor of the digital rollout. I've already talked about the digital rollout. The digital rollout is set to be coming to every digital platform tomorrow, the 13th of May. And you can be able to purchase it for $29 if you want to. Rental is priced at $24 for 48 hours, but that's even not what I'm looking at right now. It's the fact that Disney thought in their head that re-releasing this project was going to make some money before they actually get it out to digital. It's just preposterous. And the fact that they even did it in over 1,000 theaters where it only generated $200,000 alone in one single weekend is just comical at best. It is ridiculous. And now, if you don't know the reason why this film failed, I will just run down a few highlights here. Rachel Zegler insulted the original 1937 classic, saying it was dated, and then she called the prince in that original a stalker, and that were never going to follow the story from the original because it was so dated and not in alignment with the woke modern audience, the woke lunatic nut jobs of this modern era. So they wanted to update that classic and tell a modern story where she is the boss of bosses. She doesn't listen to no one. She only cares about her own interest of becoming a queen and a leader, and she doesn't care about true love. So all this is all about the feminist agenda, about dying single, not having to be married to any man, and the clown Andrew Burnap, I think his name is Andrew Burnap, that plays the rogue guy, or whatever his name is in the project, is more or less just there for, I would say, just to be an added piece to the film, because he really does absolutely nothing in the film. So this is the major problem. And now we have to now talk about her divisive comments about the President Donald Trump. She mocking fans and saying that if you voted for Donald Trump, you will not have peace and all that in your life and all that. So she insulted half the population of the United States, and then she attacked Gal Gadot, her co-star, on social media, and use words like "Free Palestine" and all that. So she has been erratic. She has been very, very sick in the head at this point. So all these are well deserved. Now, as for her next project, she's going to star alongside Marisa Tomei in one new indie flick called I think She Gets It Me or something like that. Whatever the name is, but it's an indie film, so she will be there, and that's her next failed of a project that's coming out soon. So guys, share your thoughts down below on the latest box office reports for Snow White. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys very much next time.